Yo, what is up, guys? So we are playing some Element Sabers, I was about to say Lightsworn, a Lightray Element Sabers, and the deck is definitely popping. Alright, so this card, absolutely OP effect, absolutely unbalanced, man. So we're gonna go ahead and add the Hyena to our hand. I'm in a good mood. What the heck is this guy talking about? I haven't even said anything to this guy. Alright, anyways, important things. Willard, it's got a pretty good effect. You can send things to the graveyard. I think this effect is just so insane. This is completely not balanced. So we're going to send Nelu and our Molehue. Send those doubles to the graveyard. So we're going to go ahead and special summon our boy. Now, I want to say right now, I have the you can't target it and it cannot be destroyed. But more importantly, this play right here, guys, is so dang spicy. Let me go ahead and show you guys this play. So we already have like a pretty good boss monster, right? Basically like a towers, if you will. But now we are going to go ahead and special summon. It really doesn't matter too much. We could have the ability to stop something else, but I really want to show you guys this really powerful turn 1 play. There's a little bit of luck with this because you don't know what I could draw into with the golden bamboo sword. Also, there's a lot of... Okay, well, let me just go make the play first, because we're going to go ahead and make Isolde over here. Obviously using these two. Now, what this does is it searches out... we didn't draw one, but Gearfried is actually really good in this deck. It's so amazing. That's kind of the reason why I'm playing this card in the first place. Is like the Elemental Lords, sometimes they suffer from like a turn 1 play, and like if you Glacia plus Gearfried, like it's huge, but it's kind of hard to do that in 1 turn. Theoretically, you can do it because this is also a light. It's possible, although it relies off a little bit of the heart of the cards. Now we're going to go ahead and activate Isolde's effect. We're going to go ahead, we're going to get a little bit of potential luck over here. So we have to send, of course, like the 2 targets that we have. And then we're going to go ahead and special summon Hyena. Now, what I need to do right now, and like I said, this is why I say there's a little bit of luck in this. If I can get into, because obviously this will let us search out an extra card, we need to add a Broken Bamboo Sword. It's not that much luck because all we need at this point is another Element Saber to activate her effect again. Then we go into Scoldy. We have options for a lot of different things, so I'm just going to go ahead and just hope we get the card. It doesn't really matter what you equip this to. We just need to get an Element Saber. Oh, nice. So I can go ahead and play more aggressive over here. And now I can go ahead and go into Molehue. And, or I can go into Rapwara and stop a spell and trap anyway, so whatever we want to go for. I don't really care about Regeki that much at this point. I would rather him not be able to Yu-Gi-Oh! So we're going to go ahead and go for this. We're also going to set a back row just to scare him a bit. We can tactically manipulate the colors, but that's not exactly what we need to do. We could go into Scoldy, draw a bunch of cards, and the thing is I added a Lightray, or I added a Gearfried over here. I would consider it. Sometimes, depending on how many cards I actually have in my hand. Because if you can go turn 1, like, double, triple Gearfried, like, that's insane. So right now, I have a pretty good established board. This is a fantastic turn 1. Had I had Glacia, obviously, any of the Elemental Lords. Wow, I haven't seen this deck in a really long time. Interesting. So, he's going for this. I'm just going to stop. I can just attempt to stop this right now. Just send whatever, and just, you know, book him with that. If he has an answer, he would just activate it anyways. I'm just going to go ahead and hope that he doesn't have something, and then that's pretty much game over for my opponent. If this goes through. This is already a huge threat versus his deck already. But we'll see if he happens to have anything. He actually should have summoned it right here just in case my back row is something that could be useful. Although in this instance, it was just a bluff. Oh, okay, what is this? Oh, it just banished them? Okay. So he's just going for some cycling, which is totally fine. I think I have enough to the point where, like, because he can't do anything without a Magical Musketeer, his deck is basically... Oh, double summon! Okay, yo, I didn't expect that, but... Not bad, not bad, not bad. Okay. Oh, but okay, he's super out of advantage right now. At this point, I'm just gonna. Oh, dang, this is okay. I legit have been trying to record this duel, and I swear everyone quits. Quit too. Okay. Anyways, so the point. I actually have another replay that I'll. Like I said, the people have been quitting on me when I've been playing this. It's such a power. I didn't even get Gearfried out. I didn't even get Glacia. There's a lot of options. I'm maxed out on Gearfried. There's a lot of tech that I wanted to share with you guys. But the point was the Bamboo Sword, like, you just need to draw one card, and then you can link and go into anything. On top of that, you have kind of a towers. It's 2800. It cannot be targeted or it's indestructible by card effects. So I'm just gonna save this one real quick. So I'll add it to the list. So like you said, and I'll give you guys a deck profile if you want. Hyena is just so OP over here. This is another duel where the guy quits. This is like a really just very powerful turn 1 play in this deck. It's just so much free advantage. Now I didn't get it turn 1 in this duel, but like you guys get the idea. There's a lot of potential for this deck to like just absolutely go off. But I theoretically you can go McKinney and Willard, but it's kind of minus. So he ends up torrentialing. I just go ahead and just get more cards in the graveyard. So I'm going to go ahead and change them to water over here and just Glacia him. And it sets your opponent back a lot. Even though he monomless it, whatever, it doesn't really matter too much. But the main thing that I want to show off, again, is that play with like the draw power. Like, you can actually draw a lot of cards off it. I'm kind of messing around with stuff with Lightrays right now, just because I feel like the deck could be so much stronger turn 1. Like this is again like the standard little play. That's why I'm maxed out on Thrasher too. It just lets me do the Hyena play, which just lets you get back things, and he quits right here. But at this point, yeah, it would have been game. Although I think he just kind of gave up because this was going to be a decent amount of advantage. And then on top of that, if I go for a Gearfried, it's just going to be too much of an advantage. So I don't want to say this is like a deck profile that you guys should copy yet. I'm still kind of just working on things. In fact, yesterday when I uploaded the video, this is the whole reason why I wanted to make this deck, is because Lightray Gearfried is actually insane. Now, there is something that you have to keep note of, is that everything has to be warrior to actually activate the effect. But the thing is that these are all warriors. The only thing that would be something that you cannot utilize it with is with Glacia. You could technically just have a Solday, and that would be okay. However, if you happen to go Glacia, you can summon Lightray Gearfried for extra like damage on board. But I wanted something else in the deck. I also was messing around with Daedalus, because there's another thing that I wanted to mention real quick, since we're like talking about like building a deck. I wanted to play, what was it? Elemental Lord? No, oh gosh, typing element is probably a bad idea. Here it is, though. Element Training. It makes it so your opponent cannot target Temple of Elemental Lords you control with card effects. And then it says it also cannot be destroyed by card effects. Now, I didn't get to test this out. Like I said, people just keep on quitting on me when I summon like any. Well, if I summon Glacia, people just started quitting. But with Elemental Lord, does anyone know if that works with Lightray Daedalus? Because that's one combo I was trying out. So if you guys don't know what Lightray Daedalus does, you special summon it by having 4 or more light monsters in your graveyard. It doesn't have to have different names. But anyways, it can't be special summoned by other ways, but once per turn, you can target 1 field spell card and 2 other cards on the field and destroy them. Now, a lot of different archetypes have field spells, so you can summon this card and destroy 3 cards, and usually at this point you'll have a decent amount of cards in the graveyard. I mean, minimum, you're going to get a few hundred attack points because you're going to have, well, you at least need 1 light monster, but when you summon him, he's able to get rid of potentially 3 cards. Usually it's 2, but I don't know if this works with this. That's something I never got to test out. Well, I was playing this card, but I ended up dropping it. But like I said, a lot of people in Yu-Gi-Oh! They quit very early on. I've noticed that like within the past couple months. Like it seems like that's myself included though. I'm not gonna say if I opened up like terrible, my opponent opens up with like a Trigate Wizard and like another hand trap. I can't answer this. I'm playing one of each of the hand traps minus Valor. Valor could be useful because it is light, but Gearfried lets you, it's basically a Shein, and once per turn during either player's turn when a spell trap is activated, you can banish a warrior monster in graveyard, which you're going to have because everything in this deck is warriors. You can go ahead and negate it. And I thought that was really good, especially if you had like multiple, because that's like really dirty. That was the point of this deck, is you have other options other than like a first turn Glacia, because a first turn Glacia is great, don't get me wrong at all, but I was thinking that if you summoned like 2 Gearfrieds and then you had any hand trap, that's a huge advantage. Like, you have potential to stop so much that you just win. And this is, I wouldn't say a deck that relies off of like a good first turn play. I'm messing around with the bamboo stuff now. I really don't know how meta it's going to be, but it was just something that I saw and I wanted to try it out. So if you guys want the deck to follow me, go ahead and just mouse over the cards real quick. So I'm running triple Gearfried, 1 Willing Glacia, 1 Daedalus, triple Willard. It just helps you get like another warrior out on board. It's kind of minus though if you happen to go for this card to make Isolde, but you can Isolde and then go into Scoldy after with the effect of Hyena, because Hyena can special summon Hyena. I'm sorry, except for Hyena. But Hyena can get out another card which lets you eventually get out your Scoldy. But yeah, that's Willard. But Willard already is like so good. I just found it a lot of times to be not useful to go for him as material for a link, but it's possible. I'm playing 3 Thrasher just because it's a warrior and it lets me make Isolde, which searches out pretty much the entirety of the deck. But more importantly, it searches out Gearfried. But if I have Gearfried, obviously I don't add Gearfried because I want to special summon Gearfried. Even though it has that effect where you can't activate its effect, if you still happen to have one on board, I mean, theoretically it's already on board, then it's a little bit risky, but you can technically add one. But just keep in mind you won't be able to use its effect. But it is still another warrior, so it works out really well. But everything else is warriors. I really feel like Molehue just makes the deck so much better. Being able, like, I mean, that other guy couldn't even play. He had double summon, but it didn't really matter because Molehue just like Book of Moon. It's a great card. But I really feel like this card is really what makes the deck. I was considering actually making this a Chaos variant of a deck by just playing, obviously, some Chaos monsters up in the mix. It's just an idea that I had. Because I haven't seen Chaos decks, more specifically like Blackluster Soldiers, a great card. But yeah. And then we're playing 2 copies of Rapwira, a really great card also. This is another reason why I was just messing around with like the Lightray build, because Hyena lets you get out whatever you want. And if you get out like a Gearfried and then Hyena get out Rapwira, and then you also get out, well, if you already have like the Isolde, you can get out whatever you want. If you happen to have Hyena, and because obviously bringing it out with this, you can get out either one. And if you happen to be able to make Scoldy and go for this play, which is really strong, I'm sorry I didn't get any gameplay footage of it, but you guys can get the idea. If you're able to go for the Lightray, even though like you'd have to only have warriors, like a lot of people don't actually know this effect that you need, so they just like try to play around it. But if you happen to have this, and this out on board, it's very powerful. Like you have. And like any hand trap. I mean, I was even thinking about bumping the hand trap count even higher. The one thing that you have to be careful with though is Pot of Desires, because you don't want to banish your hand traps, but if you draw into them like after you make this play, like it's so good, any hand trap. So like you have Gearfried to stop one spell or trap, you have this to get rid, like Book of Moon, you have this to also stop a spell and trap. Like the amount of advantage you get in this deck is crazy good, and the turn 1 plays in this deck are just like, I'm really excited about this deck coming out because it's such a like unique deck, and the fact that you can like just play around and mess around with stuff that's like normally difficult to get out turn 1. But yeah, I just thought that was a really good play where you're able to just get out multiple monsters. But if you go for the Scoldy play, keep in mind Scoldy is not a warrior, so he will not work if you happen to go for some of the other plays. But anyways. Next up we have 1 Nehlu. I honestly don't really like this card that much, but it lets me go for like another like Glacia pretty much, because you can add an Elemental Lord again, which this is my only one that I'm playing. I feel like it's the only like relevant one for like turn 1 plays. Then we're playing just 1 of each of the hand traps, and then 2 copies of Makini. I just feel like Hyena just makes the deck so much better. It's really Hyena and Molehue which makes the deck, in my personal opinion, just so much stronger. Then I'm playing 1 Rhoda because it searches out everything. More importantly, it just gives you that Thrasher first turn play, which, did we do Thrasher? I think we did Willard and then Hyena. But like basically, if you go Thrasher into anything, because everything's warrior, you just go into this and then you special summon Hyena, and then Hyena can get you back any of the other elemental lords, specifically getting out the Molehue turn 1 or Rapwira is, in my personal opinion, the most ideal play. But yeah. What were we at? think we basically went over like the monsters. Now, yeah, I was going over Reinforcement Army. Anyways, next up, Pot of Desires. Don't activate this early on, unless like you want to make that turn 1 play and you don't have the cards to. Basically, you want to use this after you go for your play and draw one of the hand traps because, like I said, if you have negate 2 spells, and like because this is what I'm talking about. This is a very standard like combo for the deck, which is you negate 2 spells, and then you also you negate 2 spell or traps, which are these 2, and then on top of that you have a Book of Moon. So you negate 2 spell and traps, and you have Book of Moon, and then on top of that you also happen to have a hand trap. Like it's done, dude. That's like 4 cards. If you Glacia them, then that's like very, very good efficiency, but then you won't have Gearfried's effect, but it doesn't really matter. At that point, you've got game, man. But next up, we have 3 Pot Desires, triple Terraform. The field spell is like so required in the deck. Then we have Golden Bamboo Sword, Broken Bamboo Sword, Triple Composite, Cursed Bamboo Sword. Theoretically, these can be minus, but you gotta play them if you want to activate this effect and go for the play of Hyena to grab back anything for like the standard little bread and butter combo that I showed you guys. For the extra deck, nothing's really important. Except for like this card. Honestly, this is all I really need. There are times where, yeah, this can be cool, this can be cool, this can be cool, but you really don't need that much. In fact, these are actually the Lightray deck that I saw yesterday. Is I just took his deck and like basically just added what I wanted to. Like I changed it up. His deck was completely different, but I just copied over his extra deck was pretty much like I'm not going to be making these honestly. Oh, I mean it's good to have this and this and these are great cards. Don't get me wrong. But I just never made them like when I was playing like throughout the like entirety of the night. But anyways, that's the Lightray Element Saber deck. I think it's pretty cool. It's got okay consistency. I wouldn't say it's the best, but honestly, if you open up with a field spell, like you're getting off the play. You're gonna get off a good play. You're gonna be able to just make your opponent quit. And like I said, dude, I've been playing for a while, and like I just keep on getting people that quit on me. But the point was to show you guys the play, and we did it. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing this. Let me know, guys, if you guys have any suggestions for like this Lightray build. Again, it's just something that I had it requested a while back. Someone was like, dude, can you make a Lightray deck? And I'm like, dude, Lightrays are like irrelevant. Like you might as well play Lightsworn if you want to get like like good value out of like light monsters. Like that's just kind of like the deck. But I mean, I still think this card is pretty good. Like I said, I'm not sure if it works with a field spell when you happen to have element training on board, so it wouldn't be destroyed, but you still get to destroy the other 2. But more likely, your opponent will be having some other card. I thought it was an interesting card. I was looking at the other Lightrays, and like they're just kind of mediocre. There was this card, and I was like, oh, well, you can use Orage and Willard. Like those technically do work with this. I actually dropped Orage completely because Orage is not really the greatest turn 1 card unless your opponent goes first, but you want to go first in this deck to just kind of win. But I thought this card was okay, and theoretically it is a wart, so you could use it for the ability to go ahead and make a Soul Day, but it's so minus because the other effect is you discard 1 light. If it was discard 1 to add 1, I'd consider it, but it's not. The other cards are just really weak. Like once per minute can't reach for a battle. Like who's gonna be playing this? Lightray Sorcerer, I question when I was playing like another equip card, but it's not like something that I'm gonna be activating because this you do have to banish a warrior, but they're irrelevant for the most part. Diablos can be actually pretty cool too. It's once per turn you get to banish 1 light monster from your graveyard, then target a set card your opponent controls, reveal it, and then you get to place it on the top or the bottom. But it's just outclassed. Like it used to be like a card some people did play back in the day when people were messing around with like Lightray Lightsworn. I did see it, but I think it's not so great. Lightray Sorcerer, it requires 3 or more, and it's not happened in this deck. Let me just put it that way. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing this like new build of Element Sabers. I haven't seen anyone do it other than like the person that did it, but I felt like his build was very suboptimal. He wasn't even playing any of the equip cards. He was just adding Lightray Gearfried Pass, and he was only playing 1, which I don't know, man. I like just doing multiples, man. Multiple Lightray Gearfried, too good. It just helps out with consistency again. It's that turn 1 trifecta of this. If you're playing this deck, I just recommend you guys to try to get this out. This is what you want, and it can be possible. You can also technically Skull Deep to get another summon, but keep in mind it will stop Gearfried's effect if you happen to go for that. But like I said, a lot of people just don't know that you need warriors, so they try to play around this. Well, everything has to be warriors, which, like I said, it can be real easy to do in this deck. But anyways, I've ranted long enough. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing this. Let me know if you would add anything or take anything out. Thanks for watching. I am signing out.